Collaboration with professionals in weather and climate would further enhance this knowledge base. Whereas farmers' decisions are based on observations in their immediate surroundings, climate professionals have access networks on land, sea, and air. I am therefore encouraged that when the two sets of professionals start talking to each other constructively, a lot of hurdles would be overcome and climate risk management would be significantly enhanced.
Since the government, according to PSN, places a high premium on agriculture, he said the involvement of key stakeholders in propelling this initiative is key.
Government fully recognizes the importance of agriculture, of the agricultural sector, as the engine for growth of the Gambia's economy, and therefore gives agricultural development a significant place in the program for accelerated growth and development, that is the page which was recently launched.
At a time when farming is on high gear in most parts of the country, the exchange of vital information relating to climate and weather in this forum can only augur well for our agriculture. For Grts News, I am Fatou Jassi.
The West Africa Women's Association, in collaboration with its Gambian chapter, recently conducted a day's seminar on the gender dimension of the ECOWAS Protocol on the free movement of people and goods. Babukar Kamara reports on the interface that also discussed the rights of citizens of the sub-region.
1970s economic crisis and negatively impact on the lives of women. It made them to turn more on cross-border trading to feed their families. The women actors in the cross-border trading do not have good knowledge of the legal text governing the free movement of population and goods signed by the governments, and think that regional integration is a concept devoid of meaning.
They constitute active participants of the informal sector within the ECOWAS sub-region, who are pushing to promote the ECOWAS Protocol on free movement of goods, people and services.
Est le fruit de plusieurs volontés conjuguées de la CEDEAO et de nous-mêmes concernant la libre circulation des personnes et des biens dans l'espace de la CEDEAO. En effet, la société civile, depuis 2009, a commencé un processus de collaboration avec la CEDEAO pour essayer de s'impliquer dans la vulgarisation de ces textes.
The commitment of Spain in West Africa is unbreakable. Even in these very difficult times, economical times in my country, we are still supporting West Africa. For us, West Africa is a priority, and it's a priority that we're never...
The ECOWAS Protocol, signed in 1975 and endorsed by the Wawa Federation in 1994, has the concern of reducing trade barriers in the ECOWAS region, particularly across major points of entry such as border posts and airports.
The concept of gender is inextricably linked to development. It is evident that if the goal is to achieve the Millennium Development Goals, that's the MDGs, solutions must be found to address the status quo and confront the challenge of building inclusive societies where the rights of all persons are protected and respected.
The regional forum seeks to create a level playing ground for ECOWAS citizens, particularly for women traders, to effectively participate in the informal activities of the sub-regional bloc without hindrance. Babakar Kamara, GRTS.
The consortium of NGOs in the country, Tango, has launched its first edition of its newsletter and two other publications. Louis Mendy was at the ceremony, and this is his report.
Tango, a home of NGOs, launched its first edition newsletter. The document and two other publications launched alongside showcase the institution's successes and challenges in its strive to accomplish its obligation since its establishment in the Gambia some 40 years ago.
We know many years ago, Tango used to have a newsletter called Tango Talks. We want to revive that to render account of what we do as members of this consortium, as development organizations, so that it reflects our activities, our interventions, and the impact that we are creating, in Gambian society.
The launch document, christened with a new name, Sunyu Helat, is not only meant for Tango Secretariat, but to be fed in by the NGO communities in the country.
This is what the newsletter is called now, to give our view, our perspective as far as development is concerned in the Gambia. And it's not supposed to be a newsletter for the Secretariat to produce, but it should be fed by the membership to show what they are doing, not merely what we have done, but also to share their comments, their opinions, their views in regard to the various governance and development issues in the Gambia.
A new customized Tangos folder, also designed for the launch of the publications. The envelope would henceforth be used during Tangos events to promote awareness of the NGO consortium.
For any of our events, if we have to dispatch information, we're going to package it in this folder. That from this folder, one can learn about Tango, one can learn about development, and in that way, we only strengthen our visibility, knowledge about Tango, awareness about Tango in the Gambian public.
The milestone event was held by the executive director of the institution.
Suñ Halat is a very significant newsletter in that it would not inform only the members but the entire country of the development efforts of the NGOs in this country.
Effective communications is indispensable in the success of any organization. Thus, these publications by Tango meant to serve as an outlet through which the general public can be informed about their interventions in the Gambia, as well as those of the NGO communities, are relevant to a large extent, especially for an institution that has its mission centered on the reduction of national poverty. Louis Mendy, GRTS.
You can also follow that story and other GRTS programs live on our website, and that's on www.grts.gm. There you can also monitor GRTS Radio live. Time now to take our first break. We'll be right back.
This is the month of goodness. This is the month of giving. This is the month we reflect upon our lives and spell the name of Allah to fill our souls with faith and love with every step we take, with every smile. We are a nation with a bright future that we walk towards. Hand in hand, as one. We are Africa. Ramadan Mubarak.
Welcome back to the news. Angry Cameroonian fish vendors in the city of Douala are pushing to break the monopoly held by Nigerian fishermen in their markets. The home traders have been complaining for 2 months of what they refer to as unfair tactics by their Nigerian counterparts. Nigerian traders who maintain a stronghold on the fishing trade in Douala say they compete fairly. We have details of that story in this report.
A familiar scene for 2 months now. Cameroonian traders at Yupwe Market in the capital Douala shout at a Nigerian fisherman. His fish don't make it off the ferry. They're confiscated. Traders here are angry because the Nigerian fishermen sell their catch directly to buyers. In doing so, they bypass intermediaries here at the market, who sell the fish on for a profit.
They fish, they smoke, they sell in bulk and then come back and sell what's left. It's unfair competition, so much so that we just can't survive. For some time the fishermen here have refused to sell to us. We tried to make them understand that fish is already too expensive and that we just can't compete.
The fishermen here are almost all Nigerian. They go out to fish in the river come rain or shine. The Nigerians say they're well within their rights to sell on whatever they catch.
The problem at Yupwe is that the authorities don't want to listen to our calls for help. We suffer every day to fish so we can feed ourselves and our families and pay for our homes here.
Talks have started up again. The president of Yupwe Fish Market leads the discussion, and with some success. A group of fishermen have already agreed to stop selling their goods directly to buyers.
The